Yeah, see, this is one of our newer ones for silent lucidity. A bunch of weird stuff going on in here. This is actually a tone match of the nylon string part. Actually, I got it from a different song, but I found some nylon string recordings and did a tone match. It doesn't really sound like a nylon string, but it's a little closer. Scene 1 is the 12-string part of the song, and that keeps the acoustic line going. But now, instead of being a nylon string, it's called Lucidity Clean. It's a tone match of the clean part of the song. And I'm also running through this Class A30 model into a double verb cab. And then I'm using this pitch block to give me a 12-string simulation. It doesn't go way up on the neck because it doesn't sound natural on the higher end, so I've got this set up through the pitch controller. And if I play down low, it almost goes by the E string, but that way if I even up, I get up there and it's the 12-string goes away. So if I play a higher part, which I actually don't in the song, but I just do that out of habit. But that way, if you watch the knob, it goes down on the higher notes, but down there it's back on again. And it gives it a kind of a 12-string vibe. And then the nylon string part switches cabs. This one stays on the same cab, but then later there's a little piece where the 12-string sound goes away. So this amp gets muted, which it's set to mute. So that one goes off in scene 3, and then this one I can just do that little using just the clean sound, as opposed to the nylon sound. And then the solo actually switches this cab. This Brit 800 amp comes on, and I have a tone match of the solo, and I also blended it with one of my cabs I use all the time for most of my other songs. And the reason I do that is to give it a little more continuity, because I use this cab for quite a few of my sounds, most my rock stuff, my Marshall kind of stuff. And so that way it still has a little bit of that and then some of this. And it otherwise it was a little too strong. The tone match was such a really stark difference in tone, you know. So anyway, it'll sound like this. There's a flanger going there, of course, you can hear. So anyway, that's how you can use these scenes to get a lot of different mileage out of these presets. This is actually an intro for Tie Your Mother Down, which I've never actually used, but I did it for another forum member that was trying to figure out how to do the harmonies. And these are actually not correct because it's recorded multiple parts and some of the guitars go off scale. But for the most part, it would work if you wanted to use it for the intro of that song. Anyway, what I did with that one is you actually play it higher octave up because it's dropped down D, but then the song after that isn't. I don't have a drop D tuner on my guitar, so I don't want to have to tune real quick, so I'm actually playing it up here. That allows allows me to go down to the standard D. And then one of the pitch blocks is adding an octave below and a fifth. And then the other one is doing the same thing, an octave above and another fifth above. So it ends up giving you quite a few octaves. And I'm using the same thing. This one's on a different LFO, but it makes the higher one have a little vibrato to it the whole time. And kind of makes it sound a little more natural, because if they're always all exactly in sync, you get this phasing thing, and it screams harmonizer. So I'm always trying to move my harmonies around a little bit at different rates so that it sounds like multiple players with their own separate vibratos and things. It seems to help. But like I said, this one isn't a perfect version of that song because they don't follow scalic harmony perfectly. Which actually I can skip over and go to that when we actually do play that song. So I might start using that now. This thing does it sometimes. When it loads in, I think it's when my MFC is connected. It shows blank. Little slap back delay. Anyway, same kind of thing. If I don't use Sing 2, I just usually make it a copy of one in case I accidentally step on it and I don't lose anything. But if I could have put a filter block in front of this and dropped it down some instead of dropping back the volume, when I want to a little quieter. But anyway, solos on 4. 3's just the same thing. I do the same thing. If I don't have an alternate solo, I do the same exact scene there. If I don't have an alternate rhythm, I do the same thing there. Just in case I miss 4 and step on 3, I'm good to go. Or if I forget if 3's the right one or not, it doesn't matter. They're the same thing. And you can hear all that noise, unfortunately, this section of my house. The noise, really noisy. Anyway, here's the solo. Same thing, only this one, against everything else I know, I have a dip in the mid-range. It's actually on all the time, even when I'm not soloing. And since I'm not using a filter block for my solo volume, let's see what's going on here. Let's watch this guy when I go to 4. Up, there it goes, see? Scene controller. So it's going from -5 to +3.5 if the controller is maxed out. This little guy here lets you go see all your scene controllers. So yeah, so there's all the way down, and then the 2 lead scenes, it's all the way up. And also while I'm on here, in case you guys didn't know about this, if you ever go to a preset you downloaded or even one of your own, and if you got a bunch of them with modifiers and you get confused about what's what, click on this and you'll get a list of all the modifiers that are going on in your patch. Preset, I should say. And so it lets you know. And then not only do you see them, you can go to them because it's labeled, let you know it's cab 1, amp 1, cab 1. You can actually click on those and it'll take you to the edit screen. Anyway, cool little tip. So let's go back. This is basically the same as my other Brit 800 patch, but I just put it over to here and gave it its own name. And the reason I'm doing that is when I go to presets, some of the presets pull up a matching backing track. And rather than trying to go through all the mapping, I have it set up now where every preset has its own song. Each one of these songs pulls up a different slot in Ableton. And if we later add a backing track here, or if I add a preset to number 54, all I have to do is the matching sample or clip that pulls up in, when I pull up this preset, it'll pull up a certain number 54 clip. I just load that clip into Ableton and it's all done for me. I don't have to worry about it no more. So that actually helps quite a bit. But this is just, So anyway, a lot of these presets will be pretty much the same animal. Once I've got them in their own location, I have gone through, I used to use global blocks, but I got rid of them because I actually I figured since I'm using up all these locations, I might as well tailor them to the song since they're there already. And so I may have gone in and, maybe changed something in the, the high and low cuts or something, maybe even a different cab.